I know, I know. This is yet another review of Solo Leveling. Yeah, I'm gonna be that person because, of course, I have recently watched Solo Leveling and I need to talk about it. So if you are sick of Solo Leveling reviews, if you don't want to hear my thoughts, you don't need to continue this because this is going to be yet another Solo Leveling review, and I am sure you have heard it all. If you are curious about my thoughts, please continue watching. I will be reviewing both seasons of Solo Leveling because I recently watched season 2 and I binge watched season 1 last year. If you have been living under a rock and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Solo Leveling is an anime that aired last year, the first season last year, and then this year, the second season. And it follows Jinwoo. In this world, there are like dimensions and gates that open up, and monsters come through, and it has been increasingly difficult to kill these monsters. But when the monsters appear, it causes various humans to be transformed into hunters and get these special powers. And they go into this company, I guess they're called. They get evaluated and they are given a rank. Jinwoo is an E rank, that is the lowest of the low. He's an E rank hunter, and he essentially is hunting and joining these expeditions into these portals to gain money to save his mother, who is in the hospital. He is very, very, very squishy. He doesn't have a good weapon because you need to be a higher rank to get a good weapon. He doesn't have many skills. He's very squishy. So he just joins to help carry food, carry weapons, carry whatever, and kind of stays out of the way. And he is known for that. So people let him tag along and he gets paid joining these stronger parties. And one day at the beginning of season 1, he is supposedly enters a safe dungeon, and that turns out not to be the case. And basically, anything that could go wrong went wrong in this gate, and I'm not spoiling anything. He miraculously survives this incident, and after surviving this, he ends up getting access to this interface that he can only see, and that causes him to access this mysterious system that allows him to level up, allows him to gain skills, allows him to gain weaponry, and becomes this stronger person. So that's kind of the gist of Solo Leveling, at least season 1. Season 2 continues that path, really. In season 2, it really comes down in this world. There's 3 companies, I want to say, that are recruiting of these hunters, and they want their strongest teams. And there's elites, there's people who are A rank and S rank, and those are really, really highly powerful hunters. And so when he becomes stronger and gets more powers, they take notice. So in season 2, there you really get into somewhat of the politics of this all, and that's a addition to what you are already getting in terms of the fights and the powers and everything. So that's kind of the gist of what Solo Leveling is. I'm sure people have all heard about it, seen it, read it, whatever. It is based off of a manhwa. I have not read the manhwa. I have not read any of the source material. Usually when I watch anything and check out anything, I try not to check out the source material because I don't want to be influenced by opinion, whether that be my own bias. So why did I check this out? Of course, because everybody and their mother were talking about this. You can't escape Solo Leveling when it's airing, let alone on any list for the last couple of years. I watched anime a really, really long time ago. And so recently I've been trying to get back into anime and checking out some of the new things, checking out some of the older things that I missed. Solo Leveling, just because I heard it through the grapevine, was one of those animes where I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would like. I need to check this out. And I eventually did. This is going to be my review of both seasons. I'm just going to kind of talk about both. There's not going to be many spoilers in this. I just want to overall talk about my thoughts, tell you what I think about the anime. Let me know in the comments what you think of my review, what you think of the anime yourself. If you want to hear more of this, thank you very much. Follow and subscribe, of course. And let's get into it. Normally when I talk about dramas, animes, whatever, whenever I review it, I talk about things I like, and then I talk about the things I dislike. With season 1, I binged this in like a weekend. With season 2, I essentially tried to watch it as it aired. So that kind of might affect my ranking. Not really, but it might, or at least my watch experience of the anime. With both seasons, I love the progression of Jinwoo. I think that was a lot of fun to watch because I am a sucker for these types of setups where you have a weak hero who goes through some types of transformation and goes from weak to like the strongest character ever. It is a big trope in anime, a big trope in Asian dramas, and I eat it up every time. So Solo Leveling pretty much was made for me, and I needed to watch it. It did not disappoint. I loved his progression. I loved him finding out about his powers, him figuring out what they do, him leveling up, him defeating all of these monsters that he had to defeat, all while secretly hiding his powers because he wanted to stay in the shadows. He did not want to get all the fame and fortune that it comes to hunting in this world. Another thing that stands out to me is the fight scenes, of course. I mean, again, I've been away from anime world for a very long time. So to come back and this be one of the first animes I check out after not watching anime for 15 years or something, the fight scenes impressed me. The animation of the fight scenes, the music, the powers, the choreo of the fight scenes, pretty much everything. Now, I will say, I will never watch an anime as it airs ever again due to Solo Leveling Season 2. Again, I binged Season 1, so this was not a problem with Season 1. With Season 2, the cliffhangers are killer in Solo Leveling. Killer. They're masterfully done, but they're killer. When I was watching this as it aired, I was like, oh my god, I have to wait an entire week for the next episode. I will never be doing that again. I will gladly wait and just have it to binge because it was agony waiting for the new episodes. I also love the relationships he had. I liked his friend with the armor. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, so I need to look it up. Jinho. I loved his friend. His friend was a comedic relief, but I loved him. His sister was really cool. I know because of spoilers and things, Heian comes into play a lot more. And so in season 2, that was really nice to see her come into more focus and you see a lot more and learn about them. And I know, due to spoilers, I know somewhat of how she comes into play in the story, as well as, of course, his own powers with Igris and Beirut and things like that. It was really cool being introduced to those people and seeing his relationships progress through season 1 and season 2 with them. Juhi from season 1 was nice, but like she kind of falls off the map. She doesn't really do anything in season 2, and even season 1 a lot. Her character had a very interesting trajectory when it came to trauma, which I liked. I loved the part of this anime that talks about topics that society might be having issues with like trauma and grief and things like that. I always like when anime and Asian dramas bring those types of topics up and have discussions about that, because I think that's something a platform should do, is bring up societal issues and issues that a regular Joe Schmo like me might be dealing with, might want to talk about. But let's be honest, you come here for the fight scenes, you come here for the relationships, really, with the team that is going into these dungeons. I will say season 2 up the ante when it came to characters. It took me a little bit to remember who was who and who worked for what company and what faction and everything. So just be ready for season 2 to really up the ante on pretty much everything, which was a lot of fun at the same time, because if you watch season 1 and you're like, wow, that was intense, those fight scenes were insane, season 2 just ups the ante on everything, and it was crazy. Like, I can't even imagine what season 3 is going to be like. His powers were so cool. His powers were so cool. The dungeons and the worlds were very well made, and the animation blew my mind all the time. I loved seeing him collect his like Beirut and Igris and everything. I loved how his powers worked and how he learned how to do them. Again, just loved watching Jinwoo's progression from the beginning of season 1 to where we are right now in season 2. That was really nice to watch. The OSTs are fantastic. The music is great. I loved it. I think really I rated season 1 and season 2 the same ranking. It was a 9 out of 10. I think really the only thing I don't like is we have to wait for season 3. And also, I did not like watching the anime as it aired, so I will never do that again. As I said, we need season 3, like right now. I absolutely love Solo Leveling. I can definitely tell why people love this one so much. That's pretty much all I have to say about Solo Leveling. I mean, I could probably gush more and more about Solo Leveling, but as you can tell from how I'm gushing and my facial expressions, I absolutely love this anime. I can't wait for season 3. If you have any recommendations on what I can watch in the meantime that kind of goes in the same direction or feel of Solo Leveling, please write in the comments because I'm looking for something to bide my time with and check out. And I have not seen a lot of anime, so please give me recommendations on what I can watch until season 3 of Solo Leveling comes out. Thank you very much.